I believe that people are motivated by a limited number of things: love, fear, religion, pursuit of adventure, greed, and possibly rebellion. Which do you think has played the biggest part in getting you where you are in your life now?
Um, Probably rebellion. Um,
What's your biggest problem with authority?
um, I don't believe that just because the law states that something is right is what is morally correct.
Right.
To me, on several different planes, on some, I'm not going to touch that topic, but we know what's right in our heart of hearts, whether it be for our family or our folk, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
We, the
Excuse me,
people,
I
should
lost
have
my
the voice to
voice.
change those things, though, right?
Right, we do, and sometimes it takes losing a lot, and a lot of that is out of selfishness. But love has gotten me a lot too. You know, I'm a dad, and I was blessed with two beautiful children. I mean, I haven't been around for part of their lives, but uh, there's a lot of positive and negative, and it's led up to where now I'm kind of suffering for it, but I'm figuring it out at kind of a later age than others.
Well, it happens that way sometimes. You don't always, it's all in God's time. I don't know if you believe in God, but
I believe in my own God
all
of
right.
my ancestry, but none of us know what's out there, so I don't want to offend any of them. You know what I mean?
True.
But
True.
yeah,
You don't have to go into that. That's okay.
I believe that.
So, if it's almost Christmas, it's the 23rd of December of 2016.
Uh,
If money wasn't an object, what would you buy your kids or your parents, whoever you care about? What would you buy them for Christmas?
for Christmas,
Just figure if it's a thought that counts.
well, I would buy for my children first, and that would probably be setting up a college tuition or whatever form
Scholarship,
scholarship. Yeah,
all expenses paid.
and that's right. And in hopes that they would utilize that.
Make them the boss.
Yeah, make them. Knowledge is power, first and foremost. I know that sounds cliche, but I really do believe that. I've had some time to read, and I've touched on some knowledge that I didn't think I would have. So I think obviously if they had a college tuition, that would be a forever giving gift. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my mom, I would actually build her dream house, and that sounds really cliche too, but you know what, it is what it is, and that's just what would make them happy and me as well.
Cool.
Um,
If someone gave you a scholarship, what do you think you would have done with it?
I probably would have went into architecture,
It's smart.
um, building houses, and I don't know, maybe branched off into other things, something that I could utilize to be. I've always had this dream of opening up a construction company that had solar, and then also having like a butcher shop with the slaughterhouse right there on site,
Oh my
and
gosh.
running a restaurant because it's all self-sustaining and it's all job security.
You could have a whole
Um,
little cult or clan. I don't want to say cult, but you'd
no,
have
not a
everything right
cult,
there.
but self-sustaining things that are renewable energy and things we can't live without. Basically living off the land and getting back to the basics, and something that I can leave for my children's future, and something my family can be together doing. That's my dream. Even if it's till I'm 80 years old, that's what I'm going to strive for. You
Awesome.
know.
All right. Um, if there was one thing in the world that you could stop from ever happening again in America or worldwide for future generations, what would it be?
Oh wow, I really don't
I
know.
mean, like if you're Superman, like if your powers are beyond just what one person could do.
Um, well, I hope later on it wouldn't be saying that I wish I didn't do this interview, but no, I'm just kidding. I really don't know. One thing from ever happening probably would be I, man,
Child
I don't know. To
abuse,
be honest,
anything.
I believe what's happening happens for a reason. Whatever energy's in the atmosphere, it's my honest belief is what's good for the wolf is bad for the rabbit. What's bad for the rabbit is good for the wolf. So, what we go through, trials and tribulations, I mean, it's all the life cycle. I couldn't say one
Is there
thing.
anything that has happened in your life that you want to make sure doesn't happen in your kid's life?
I would have quit using drugs and alcohol and kept my family and a woman I've been with half my life now, 2 kids with, and just stayed at home.
Yeah,
And
but you don't want to abolish all drugs and alcohol, do you?
I'm not trying to abolish it from everyone else, but I would abolish it from me and the people that struggle with addiction because it's no joke. Even when you want it, sometimes it's just right there and you can't get it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, and
Cool.
it sucks really bad. You know,
Cool. All right.
it's not cool. I mean, sometimes I know I
Well,
can
how
do it
about
out
like
here, but
corruption? Is there any form of corruption that you wish would never happen for the future generations?
I wish that we weren't controlled by so much media pollution and controlling. I wish it was more of like what was good for the people would drive the country, not what everyone voted was better for the upper class. You know,
Right. All what's
I
for the
would
greater
change
good.
all this like all this crazy gender stuff in schools because our kids are too young to be trying to deal with stuff like that. I don't want my kids having to deal with it. Yeah, they have their rights, but I mean, certain lines, kids are too young, and certain things just are extreme. You know, how can you say one thing's worse and the other one's not? You know, I don't want my kids growing up around. I think the government has too much control on us. That's what I would change. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the land of the free and the home of the brave? Well,
What
they
happened to
so
the dads and the town leaders and everybody taking care of each other? That's what I think.
um,
I guess maybe I got that small town country feel.
I guess you do. I mean, it seems like my opinions change a lot. I try not to speak off something I don't have a little knowledge on, but I guess yeah, there is a lack of fathers in our kids' lives due to one thing or another, incarceration or workaholics, and it all boils down to that's what's forced on us. You know what I mean? People react to things. The government does certain things. We're not gonna abide by certain rules, and if we are, we're going to work our ass off until blood, sweat, and tears to the bone, just to barely make ends meet. Certain people qualify for certain things while the working man struggles, but I'm not going to touch on that because that's too close to other things, and I don't. This isn't about politically. This is just more
That's
about
true.
personally and for my
This is just
struggle.
about people. This
Yeah.
is just about people. And I appreciate your honesty.
You know, it sucks out here. At first, it's fun, but right now it's almost Christmas. I'm freezing my ass off.
So,
Excuse my language. And I've got a family that loves me to death, and I just can't get it.
all right. What have you learned or discovered about yourself in the past 3 years? Or maybe just being out here. Have you learned anything about yourself that maybe you wouldn't have learned if you just led a quote unquote normal life?
I've learned that you can't trust anyone truly. Self-preservation is so much deeper than what it sounds like, and respect above all is seriously what keeps things going. But at the same time, those are almost contradictory to themselves and oxymorons. It's like it's hard to explain. It's a complex dynamic out here, and it's dangerous. And it's cold. You're facing the elements. But it's all put on ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
It takes a strong man.
it does. You know what I mean? It's sad, especially when you see people that are forced into this, that are just left in situations that they can't control, like the mothers with kids out here.
Yeah.
Fortunately, right here, we're in Southern California, and it's not that cold, and there are resources, but it takes any strong person to be out here and make it through.
It's true. Can you remember in your life anyone giving you a valuable piece of advice?
I remember when I was somewhere that most people's face don't belong in that place. One of my big brothers told me one time, and he used to ride me tough, but it took it because I was stubborn. He told me, no matter what, and I was really struggling with losing the mother of my children and moving on. He told me revenge is the best, success is the best revenge that you could ever have. And I use that still this day in so many ways.
It's the truth.
You can say the words though, but doing it is so much harder to climb that mountain. And it's definitely isn't. It's not success. Even on a good day when you have clothes, clean clothes, somewhere to sleep, food, cigarettes, and let's face it, whatever you're doing and your booze, um, that's just your own self-indulgent just to try and numb. That's success is actually getting up every day, working hard, and having something to show that no one can take away from you, and you can pass down. Um, and those experiences and memories and that the work ethics that you pass down to generations and those times you spend with people. Success is the best revenge you could ever have towards anyone.
It's true. Have you done anything nice for anybody out here, or has anybody done anything nice for you that's like something, anything that sticks out, memorable?
Um, for a while, I was one of the only guys with a car, and I had a job, but I was still out here in the mix. And I would try and help out by giving people rides. Sometimes I just couldn't, but whenever I have something, if you're someone I mess with, it goes both ways. Even if it's just a simple cigarette, it's the gesture that counts. The general principle, the little things matter out here.
Sometimes the timing.
Something so meaningless to someone else has such a value just because of there is a bond out here. You know what I mean? And giving, I try and give whatever I possibly could. And even at times where I was getting taken away from myself, everyone gets taken advantage of once in a while. But that's how you stay alive out here. So you try and be as giving as you can because you also know you're going to be asleep one day when you're vulnerable. So a lot of that goes with the gesture of trust and almost paying for truths. To be honest with you,
do you sleep with one eye open?
I actually don't like telling anyone this, but I don't know why. Both of my sons do it too. I sleep with my eyes open, so it trips people out, and I talk in my sleep. So I guess there's something good out of that. I mean, it's really not funny, but for all I know, it could have saved my ass a few times. You're not going to be friends with everyone out here.
It's true.
You're not, and this is a dog eat dog world right here. People are feeding their addictions at all costs. So you gotta be with it or shit or get really. You gotta be wise on who you're gonna have.
So how do you judge somebody? If you gotta be wise, do you just are you just cautious and you assume that they're gonna mean you harm until they prove otherwise, or do you have your ways?
I guess from just kind of growing up in several different atmospheres, you kind of adopt different customs on character judgment, and some are better at being streetwise, if you want to call it that. I trust my gut feeling. Some people, if I see myself in someone else, I'll be cautious. I'll throw caution to the wind, because I know that there's some people that are smart and they're complex. And if you put your word out there sincerely and someone actually lets you open into their inner circle like that, then they can be a really good friend or really dangerous. So I basically just choose very few people that are of my like mind, kind of a little ornery, but for the most part have a good heart. And I still am. It takes a while, you know what I mean? You don't ever let anyone in out here like that. You always keep your safe haven.
Sure.
This shit ain't a joke in reality. I mean, it depends how you do it. If you're really about being kind and stuff, this ain't the place and you'll get out of it quick. But if you're a dope fiend or an alcoholic...
Do you want to know the way I really see it? The way that I see it with my friends out here and everything?
How is that?
It's like I kind of see this as hell, but at the same time, I would go to hell and back for you.
For me? I kind of believe that coming from you.
I think if angels stay in heaven, they're not really helping anybody.
All right. Well, that checks out. Um,
Do you? Let me ask you one more or a couple more.
it's been living hell, and I'm divulging more than I would. You know, you kind of
I don't want
got me
to.
up here looking like a big tough cream puff, but I'm just these are 12 people, and this is
I
for the
appreciate
better
it.
good of the future and to try and prevent people from going through this. You know, so I'll roll with it.
I just want to share your essence with the world.
You know,
No pressure.
something positive has to come out of me. That's why I'm sitting here freezing my ass off doing this. But
True.
what's the next one?
Do you think that the way that you look, hair, makeup, well, not makeup, but hair, your clothes, everything that's changed since you've been out here and how hard it sometimes is to keep your look up, do you notice how it changes the way that people treat you?
Um,
And has that in turn changed the way that you feel about people in general?
You know, they say perception is everything, and I'm always one that goes against the grain. Even though I might know it's true, I'll try and fight it. And, you know, perception is everything. My appearance has changed a lot being on the streets, but I've always been pretty up on my hygiene, trying to stay clean, you know what I mean? Just recently, I grew my hair out a little bit and shaved off my beard, and without all the tattoos showing, I watched how people smiled at me more, didn't look at me like with defensive, trying to avoid me. Um, and as soon as I came back out here, after getting out of rehab, not due to my own choice, because I shaved my head and started, you know, my same look. And automatically I seen how people's mannerisms change towards me. Over time on the streets, it gets grimy sometimes. I mean, but the people that are truly your friends, even if they have like a safe spot they jump off, you'll be able to tell because they'll still be willing to help you, even if you're grimy. And, you know, it sucks out here sometimes. You let yourself go if you're doing certain things, chasing the bag or fucking in the bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me, myself, I've never let myself get like that, but
Yeah.
I've pulled up quite a few friends and gave them my own clothes, took them to a shower. Um, and it does, you know, that's how you build friends out here. You let yourself really go, and sometimes you don't realize how many days it's been before you look in the mirror. And I just try not to ever get to that point again, you know?
Right. It helps if you do you have like a it helps if you have a partner, I think,
Yeah, it does, you know?
because you got somebody else you gotta get up and look at every day.
Exactly.
Do you think, I don't know if you've ever struggled with depression or anything like that, but do you think that your will to live increases or decreases the more you have to struggle to meet your basic needs?
Um, Basically, I know that like depression, all that. I don't really touch on it like that. For a long time at first, you're just out to numb myself. It would be before to numb myself, but eventually it just leads to a climax where it's a breakdown, you know, and that's catastrophic where you can't go nowhere but jails, institutions, or death, you know, and that's straight out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I just barely been out of rehab for a week, and I'm struggling to get into another place, you know. And I'm doing pretty good so far. You know, the month that I was in there, I picked up some tools, and I'm not trying to ever get back to that place. You know, some people never make it that far. You know,
Well, hopefully you do. Hopefully Christmas blessings will come your way since you're blessing us with an interview.
plus, all right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.